Being a musician, it took a while to own it, that's what I do and what I want to do. When I write music, it is very much a spiritual thing. It's about finding a rhythm, a groove, a purpose. There is something absolutely transcendent about art and music. And I think the more we are given time to chase that, the closer we are to really why we're here. And what that is, I'm still trying to figure out. My name is Cory Mon. I'm a creator and a father. I took a nice corporate job, and the idea was, all right, let me be serious here and take care of my child. Quickly thereafter, it was like, nah, this is not working. I was also in a bad relationship. It wasn't working. It was with someone who I valued, and she's a fantastic human. I'm really glad we had a child together. But that wasn't working either, and we needed a change. So we decided to move out to Florida to kind of pursue this beach lifestyle and music, and it really worked to a degree, but I was still in a bad relationship. The pandemic hit, and I had taken money, I had sold a condo, I had moved out to Florida, and I started this whole new business venture. And I had just gotten to the point where I was really busy on the beaches. And we had taken all this money and we had lived off of it, and we had built this life, and the pandemic hit. The year that I had needed this next year of live music, I had over $80,000 of live music booked from March till the end of the year, and we needed every bit of that. And the pandemic hit, and it was like money gone, And that was the moment that made me go, oh, what do I really want? And that's when I knew I didn't want to be in the relationship that I was in the way that it was. But I loved my daughter, and the last thing I wanted was her to feel that. Her mother and I chatted, and we decided that it would be best for Atlas and I, my daughter, to move back to Utah with some family. And her mother stayed there in Florida. It was a rebirth of sorts. I, lost a lot of money. I ended up in a decent amount of debt. Started reaching out for freelance marketing stuff. And in the midst, ran into this opportunity that I now have. They had hired me freelance, and that turned into something more. Just making that, meaning losing everything in Florida, like everything, but just having my daughter. I remember the day we drove, or we flew. It was, masks, fear, spacing, like you're in a plane, and me and my daughter allowed to, and then row, and then somebody else, they making sure that the spacing was all, and all masks. And I remember flying with my daughter across the country to Utah, and it was the most freeing, liberating moment of my life, probably. Sitting there holding her hand, knowing that we were done with that life entirely. And it was really fitting that, she was with me. I think a lot of people in a divorce situation, and we had already divorced at that point, it's complicated, but in a divorce, a parting situation, the darkest moments are the ones that you're without your child. And I was really fortunate to be the one that got to fly across the country with her. Being a musician and having time for your children, at the same time, if you're out on the road, you're missing out on their lives. And I didn't want to do that either. I have been out on the road. I still go out weekends here and there. But I've fashioned my life, I guess, in a way so I can spend as much time with my daughter as possible, to the point that she'll even go on the road with us on the weekends and whatnot. So it's been a constant chasing is how do I spend more time with this human that is my favorite thing on the planet. When you're really focused on a task or spending quality time with someone for writing a song, whatever, it takes less time than the world has allotted, in my opinion. I've found some balance and some success there. Oh man, there's the moments as a parent where you're just not quite yourself, and those are rare at this point. The time I spend with my daughter is just so golden, and I'm so grateful for it. Music is just fantastic right now. Things are going really well. Work going really well, and we're living a crazy world right now. And part of me feels almost like bad that my life's going so smoothly, despite the fact that the world is in a little chaos. So yeah. In 2023, I released a more singer-songwriter. Essentially, I started working on this record because a buddy of mine said, come up and record this one song. He'd seen me post online, and he said, please come up and record that. And it turned into a whole record of processing my divorce, heartbreak, and this next batch of songs after that I'm now releasing, this whole grouping of songs is totally different. After getting past or getting through the heartbreak and, how do I be a good dad as single me now? What's our new dynamic? The approach to songwriting in general was all about fun and just following. My hero, a guy by the name of Sean Hayes. I asked Sean when I had an opportunity to tour with him back in, mid-2000s, what's one piece of advice he would give me for songwriting. And he said, just write, man. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, just write. Just find the vibe, the groove, whatever, and write. Finish the song. Don't concentrate too much on the lyrics. Everyone gets caught up on the lyrics. And he's like, just finish the song. You can always go back later, but just finish the song. Just be in that moment. And this whole album is that. It's a level of fun and progression that I've never seen, in my music. It came together really fast. In fact, the whole album was us going to my buddy's studio. It's just fantastic, vintagey studio, and just laying it down live in 2 days. And it's not thinking too much and just going, just living. I think that's honestly maybe it when it comes down to it. I talk about my state of life and where I'm at right now, and I'm just so comfortable. And there's just a rhythm about life right now. There's a balance that I'm really grateful for. And this coming set of songs, or these set of songs we've built are just that. It's just, hey, I've found this rhythm and I'm moving forward, and I'm finishing the song. We released a song November 7th called Big Big Love. One of my favorite singer-songwriters by the name of Anders Osborne, in one of his songs says this term. He says Big Big Love, and it's not even anywhere close to where I took it lyrically, but it's been bouncing in my head since about 2020. That what I was after was big, big love. And this is not to be mistaken with romantic love, because I've struck out with romantic love too many times to and this sounds negative, but that's not what I'm hoping for. I'm not hoping for someone to come along and love me and save me. The big, big love that I'm seeking is self-love and self-acceptance. So there is some lyrics that on this big, big love, but the whole idea of this song is I say, big, big love, come around, and it's just real repetitive and real rhythmic. But the lyrics are, everyone I lose creates more space for what I need. Wear that new fit, use the good plates, light a candle, climb a big old tree. No more on the hunt, I've done had all my feels. So I'm not searching for new love, I'm not searching for new things. There's no more hunting. I'm gonna live in the now, gonna live in the here, gonna live in the real. Big, big love, self-love.
What are kind of your hopes and fears for the future for your daughter?
Oh man. The hope for my daughter is that she will continue to be the absolutely self-confident human being that she is. She's reaching those teenage years within the next couple years, and I know those are tough. The one thing I've tried to instill into my daughter more than anything is absolute acceptance and love for her in whatever she does. And she exudes self-confidence at this point. It's pretty, it's fantastic to see. My hope is that she continues to feel that way, especially coming into these teenage years, that she continues to find the things that she loves to do and to do more of them. That she continues to create, because she just loves to create, and she loves to create fun, and that she can find more and more of that. I don't want her to second guess herself. I don't want her to second guess her dad's love for her, her mother's love for her. It's been a nice, it's been a dance between, like her mother and I are no longer together, but we're still lifting her up together and being, co-parents, which has just been a beautiful, awesome thing. And I don't think she doubts for 1 second that her mother or her father love her and support her entirely. My parents told me all along I have a heart condition. I was born with a bicuspid valve, right? And so I was told all along, hey, you're real creative and whatever, but you're gonna have to find a corporate job because you're going to have awesome insurance, and and this music thing is cute. I don't want that for her, and I don't think she has any of that. It is absolutely, entirely okay, Atlas, to live your truth, do what you want to do. She's a little singer actress, and if that's how she continues to want to live her life, I want to give her all the resources and all the belief that she can make a life, because I hate the word career, a life doing that. The fear is that as she runs into those teenage years and as life gets more complicated for her, and as her anxiety maybe rears as to who she is and how she fits into this world, that she might come to me less and go to others. Not that I'm afraid of losing her to friends or a lover or whatever, but more that she can always find absolute softness in speaking with Dad in anything. Music's a weird thing. Well, I didn't want to get into it at first. Meaning I started writing it because I started playing it because it made me feel good. I didn't want to get on stage because I felt someone who stood on stage and felt like they had something to tell me, or me standing on stage, I have something that I need to get across to you. It felt a little conceited, and I didn't want that. In fact, I was marketing for a local house concert series, and this touring folk musician came through. They tried to get me to open for that show, and they said, hey, you should open. And I'm like, no, I don't open. I just wrote in my basement because I liked the feeling. And the guy said, hey, why wouldn't you open? I heard they were going to try to get you to open. You didn't open. And I said, I gave him my spiel. I don't want to stand up and say something. I have something important to say. And he goes, did you ever think that by not getting up, that you're actually denying people something they might need? And that kind of changed things for me. But if I were to wake up today the only person, I wouldn't change why I make music.